Realize, oh, wow, I really screwed that up. As I started to say it, I thought, wait a minute, I've got to really come up with a new elevator speech. But for years now, I've been really passionate about helping women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. But I took quite a hiatus from doing my videos because I was not leading a very healthy and active lifestyle. I'm not entirely sure why my health has tanked so bad. I think it's because everything changed when I went on Cymbalta very briefly last spring. But I was in with my doctor on December 20th, in fact, and I said, there's no way this is still tied to it. And she's like, what? Yeah, honestly, with you, yeah, there probably is a way it's still tied. And that's BC before the Cymbalta, AC after Cymbalta, and it hasn't been good. So now I'm trying to figure out how the hell to get myself back to a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. But part of that, of course, is our mental health. And when you're dealing with chronic health issues, especially chronic pain, your mental health takes a hell of a beating. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it doesn't. It does. I have a very sunny disposition. I'm a happy person by nature. But I tell you what, this stuff can put me into a very dark place very quickly. Anyway, let's talk about setting boundaries because this is extremely important for your mental health. This information, by the way, is from Psychology Today. Look, I mean, I know it's a cliche, but we teach people how to treat us. What we allow, how we allow other people to treat us, guess what? It's highly indicative of our sense of self worth. And if you're a people pleaser, especially if you're a people pleaser who happens to deal with chronic health issues, you're you're going to bend over backwards to try to make everybody else happy. Go along to get along. Well, guess what? When you go along to get along, your own needs are not being met. You end up putting everybody else ahead of yourself. Think about it. If you're on the airlines, what do they always say? Put your own mask on, then help others. You've got to learn how to set boundaries and how to protect yourself, how to protect your emotional state because if you've got health issues, your emotions and your physical, gosh damn it, I hate brain fog. Everything's tied. When you have chronic pain issues, you learn that how it's so much more tied than healthy people realize. Trust me, y'all got no idea, and you're lucky. You're lucky in that regard. But let's talk about how to set boundaries. Number one, you have to know yourself. Now that sounds pretty basic, right? Well, no kidding. I mean, sure, you know what your values are, right? You know what's important to you. Can you explain them? Could you explain them to me right now? If we were to sit down together, you'd be amazed at how many people can't because it's not that they're stupid, but it's because we get these general ideas. But if you have to sit down and really explain it, boy, it's a little bit different. It's a little different story there. Excuse me. The more that you understand yourself, the more that you know yourself, the easier it's going to be to determine where your boundaries are. Number two, you need to accept responsibility for your role because you do have one. Look, it's not up to other people to set boundaries for us. If people are walking all over you, it's your fault. I'm sorry, but it is. If no one's told you that, then they've been lying to you. It's your fault. Why? Because, like I just said, we teach people how to treat us. It's up to you to set and enforce your boundaries. Is it going to be easy? No. If people are used to walking all over you and all of a sudden you start setting boundaries, trust me, they don't like it. But too damn bad, that's their problem. You have to set boundaries. A good example I like to use from this, I stole this from a former mentor. And I like this example because I don't feel like I'm throwing anybody under the bus because A, I don't have children, and B, I don't think my mom would have been this kind of mom anyway. But I know this happens for a lot of people. Maybe your mom doesn't approve of the way you're raising your children. and she likes to call you up and chew your ass about it. Well, the next time she does, tell her, you know what, mom? We're not going to have this conversation. So I'm going to go. You have a great day. I've got things to go do. You have a wonderful day, and I love you. I'll talk to you later, and hang up the phone. That's it. That's it. Is it going to be harder than hell? Yes, it will. And she's going to be pissed. But let her be pissed. If she calls you back, don't answer. You told her you had things to do. Go do something. Go find something to keep yourself busy so you don't ruminate about it. But if you don't do that, maybe when you get to family gatherings, your uncle's all up in your business about the state of your job or the state of your relationship. Uncle Bob, you know what? This is not the time or place to have this conversation, and walk away from him. If you have to, go. You can always go in the kitchen. You can always go in the kitchen and help the hostess. That's never frowned upon. Go wash the dishes. Or worst case scenario, excuse yourself, go to the bathroom for a couple minutes. He'll find another target. But it's up to you to set that. It's up to you to stand up for yourself. You don't got to be rude. Please don't be rude to people. Please don't be rude to people. There's enough ugliness in the world. But it's up to you. You have to care enough about yourself to stand up for yourself. And you don't, again, don't be rude. You just firmly set a boundary. We're not having this conversation. Thanks. Excuse me. Number 3, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to remember that all of your experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly, I have a lot of shit I'm not proud of. A lot. A laundry list. But all of those experiences made me who I am today. And am I perfect? Absolutely not. I wouldn't even strive for it. But you know what? I'm a pretty good person. I try to be happy. I try to always look at the bright side. I try to be a good friend. I try to be kind. I've made it this far. I've been through some shit, and I've made it this far. And I've made it this far without becoming nasty and bitter. I'm so proud of that. I seriously, I thank God for that fact all the time. You have to love yourself. Number 4, when you're setting boundaries, you need to heed the warnings. People show us who they are. You need to pay attention. You need to listen. You need to stop projecting your idea of who somebody is onto them. I'm very bad about this. If I have decided for whatever reason, oh my gosh, she is the nicest girl. I love her. You know what? She can be a complete bitch to me for quite a while before I'm going to finally have enough. I should have heeded the warnings. We always know. If you cannot gently ease somebody out of your life, somebody who repeatedly violates your boundaries or refuses to respect you, you're going to have to drastically limit your interactions with them. And if it comes down to it, set a time limit. I have to go to this family event. So-and-so is going to be there. They're a giant pain in the ass. So I'll go for an hour. And then after an hour, you've made your appearance. Should be enough to please everybody. Thanks. Have a great day. I'm out. Don't be nasty. Just thank you for inviting me. Y'all have a great evening, and leave. Yeah, I'm really bad about this. Anyway, anyway, I'm also bad about this next one. Number 5, you want to set boundaries? Quit being a fixer. Nobody asked your nosy ass to fix anything. Let's start with that. Secondly, when you're a fixer, you know what you're doing? And I say this as somebody who I am a complete fixer. It's a bad thing. It just gets me into so much trouble, but I'm a fixer. I'll own it. But it's because I'm looking for validation. If I can help you, hell, so I do these videos. I'll be honest. Holy shit, I just realized that. Oh, excuse my language. Anyway, don't be a fixer. You can't change other people. Change is not easy, and it has to come from within. You can't nag somebody into changing, nor should you try. And if you are a fixer like me, then you know what? You really need to look at yourself and figure out what it is that you feel that you need to be validated. Why do you need We should not need, I'm not going to say we don't need, but we shouldn't need external validation. Most of our validation should come from within. Or if you're like me and if you have faith, a lot of my validation I get from my faith, from my religion. Anyway, I'm getting way off track. Surprise. Number 6, last one. You need to remember that you're in charge. It's your life. You are in charge. Can you control what other people are going to say and do? Absolutely not. You know that. You don't need me to tell you that. But you can learn to control how you choose to respond to them. And you know what else? You are allowed to change your beliefs and your views without seeking permission. And if you make those changes, guess what? You don't owe anybody an explanation. If you want to give them one, that's up to you. But if they ask for one, if they try to demand one, you don't owe them anything. The only person you really need to worry about at the end of the day truly is yourself. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I got to laugh at myself. I don't always rewatch the videos, but sometimes I do, and I did yesterday, and I was cracking up because I had a little blue. I cover my camera with a sticky note when it's not in use, and I just have it taped to the back of my laptop, so I just flip it over when I broadcast. And yesterday I didn't realize until after the fact that I didn't push it all the way off, and I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, if you were wondering what the hell that line was, that's what it was. It was my sticky note. I hope you'll have a great afternoon. Happy Friday, and I will be back at 11 o'clock.